What's up, YouTube? It's ArtisanMc, and today I got a couple of minutes with a busy schedule to watch this trailer for Firestarter 2022. And by saying 2022, I kind of jumped the shark, which is Firestarter, or this version seems like is going to be a remake of the 1984 original Firestarter, starring Drew Barrymore and I think George C. Scott Patton, taken from the Stephen King novel of the same name. And this has been a favorite of mine for a long time. I saw this when I was a kid. And when I saw it as a kid, it got me into understanding what this girl was able to do. What was the whole deal with her powers? And that's why I learned about pyrokinetics. I mean, I looked it up in the dictionary to understand what it was because my mother had to kind of explain it to me. But I looked it up to understand what pyrokinetics was and did what you did old school way. You looked things up in encyclopedias and stuff like that and found information. So I've always really gravitated to this story. I like the whole interaction between the father and the father having powers and it being transferred down to the daughter, and people trying to step in and manipulate the child and the relationship with the father and the child to get that. It just spoke to me because pretty much if you haven't seen the original Firestarter, you should go back and watch it quickly before this movie comes out so you'll understand what's going on. They did a remake, I want to say in the late 90s on the Sci-Fi Channel. They did a Firestarter Rekindled. It was all right, but that was their attempt to try to, progress the story a little more and pick up with this character as she was older. It was still supposed to follow, the original one, the original movie, but it was Sci-Fi Channel. It's just like the Sci-Fi Channel's version of Dune, which is the most accurate one to date. Um, they did a good job, but Denis Villeneuve was the second person to do one cinematically, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and watch this trailer, and I will give you my reaction to it as we go. Here we go.
Something feels weird. Something's changing.
You remember the tools we taught you, right?
Zac Efron.
Desk, paper, shoes. You're weird.
Everything okay, Charlie?
It happened again.
What happened?
The bad thing.
If you ever start to lose control, what do you do?
It didn't work. She's not a robot, Annie. She's a little girl. With little girl emotions, which are wildly unpredictable. Charlie?
She just has to shove it down and keep it hidden.
Our responsibility is getting her ready.
Our responsibility is to protect her.
Charlie?
If they catch her, they're gonna put her in a cage.
Charlie?
She's gonna go back to the shop.
For the rest of her life. We'll never see her again.
If who catches me?
Oh, Blumhouse.
I need it handled with discretion. And I need her back alive.
Holy shit. Do you know what it means to be on the run?
Bad men are after us. Really bad.
I hate living like this!
You're special,
Charlie. I'm not special, I'm a monster!
Oh shit.
I want to help her.
You want to use her.
Oh, I like that guy.
Don't be stupid.
Where's Mommy?
Do you feel that? Let her go or it's gonna get a lot worse.
Where's Mommy? Tell me now!
She's the first of her kind. A real life superhero.
You need to understand how to use it. It can't be a reaction. It's gotta be a decision.
Woo, shit!
That's the only way that you can control it. She's becoming a young woman.
I'm not going to jail.
And someday soon, you're gonna change the world. She may be capable of a nuclear explosion.
Run, Charlie! On your knees!
Simply with the force of her mind. The whole world going to hell. Promise me that you'll never use your gifts to hurt people.
I'll only hurt bad people, I promise.
Trust me, Charlie. You don't have to be afraid. Please, I can help you.
Liar, liar. Pants on fire.
Oh shit.
I don't want to hurt anyone. but it feels kind of good.
Okay. Stop that right there. All right, so Firestarter. Trailer looks good. Blumhouse does a lot of horror movies, and I don't watch a lot of horror movies now. I grew up, I guess. I just don't care for them that much nowadays. But I know they do some pretty good ones. I've still wanted to see The Invisible Man. It just never rose very high on my list to rush out and go see. Zac Efron being in it, I don't mind Zac Efron. I mean, he's turning into a decent enough actor, and him taking the David Keith role in this one is interesting. He got the right jacket on, that's for damn sure. Um, I see they're leaning a little bit more into the feminine angle with this, obviously, since the main character is a little girl. I think they turn George C. Scott's character into a female, and you're getting a little bit more with Charlie's mother, which in the original movie, they just gave you like a flashback of her getting upset with her mom and setting the damn oven mitts and shit like that on fire. This one, you get a little bit more of the mother having a dialogue with the husband about it. I don't think we need that shit because it sounds like it's just going to be her chastising him. Like, fuck you. Other than that, I'm interested more so into how they can do the effects because next to having, I don't know, ice powers or something like that, having an ability to control fire is really interesting if you could show it on screen cinematically in a cool way. Okay, think Pyro in the X-Men. Now he can't create fire, but he can shape it. He can make it do whatever he wants it to, right? That's kind of being a pyrokinetic because that it only means that you can move fire around. That's basically it. But the Firestarter part is that in some ways she can create fire. You know, agitate molecules to the point where they explode or ignite, and it could just be anywhere, everywhere. So that scene that I got really hyped about, which was her pinpoint focused on one thing and exploding it right there and not having to shoot a stream of fire out, was very interesting. That's a really interesting view of somebody having fine control of power and not just it's just a hydrant, you know, it's just a fire hydrant. It's just going to go wherever it goes. No. When she goes to the shop, and funny enough, I thought of the parallel about that, about the comic shop and the shop in this story. That's what they teach her to do. They teach her how to control her abilities with a little tech and a little science. They teach her how to control her abilities and actually focus it. So they turn her into a better weapon because the shop, for all intents and purposes from the original, is like a government group. It's something involved in the military or some shadowy agencies or whatever. And they experimented on these people to give them abilities. And Charlie's father, Andy, he has abilities. He's like persuasive. He's like, think of Professor Xavier without the strong enough control that he can push people and control them mentally. That's what he can do. Just by once he gets into their head, all it takes is suggestion, and he can get them to do whatever he wants them to do. Now, he and his wife had the same abilities because they were in the same program. And by them having a child, it passed on a version of those powers or a different set of powers to their child, which is Andy. That made it very interesting because if you ever read X-Men and stuff like that, the whole idea of mutants having abilities and then the progenitors of those mutants or their descendants having like greater abilities or combined abilities, that's where you get the whole Cyclops and Jean and Nathan Dayspring Summers Cable. That's what that all is. It's the progression of those powers in a child that makes the child that much more powerful. So I'm really interested in seeing that, how they depict it on screen. Will it be the best movie in the world? Probably not. Probably not, but I'm not tuning in because I'm expecting it to be, the greatest movie I've ever seen, but because I'm expecting to see some people get burnt fuck up by fire and some cool fire effects. Look, I gotta have little pleasures in life. So that's it. I'm looking forward to it. It said it's coming out in May, so okay, I got a couple months lead time on it, but now that I know it's coming out, I'll be looking for it. I've been ArtisanMc. This was my reaction to Firestarter, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.